Whenever something gets to be popular enough, there's certain to be cheap knockoffs at some point down the line. Hoping to capitalize on parents who just aren't paying close enough attention or don't know any better, these films strive to be as close to the original products as possible without stepping on any copyrights. So in hopes of educating you and having a few laughs at their expense, we figured, why not take a look at some of them? This is 5 of the most blatant ripoffs of popular kids films. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell to be notified when we upload fresh content. The Michael Bay Transformers films might be in decline in terms of box office draw these days, but the first few films were a pretty big deal. So of course we got ripoffs in the form of the Transmorpher series. Transmorphers? Really? Okay. That's where we're starting? Yeah. Alright. The original Transmorphers was released in June 2007 as a straight-to-DVD title by The Asylum, a production company that is well known for its shoddy knockoffs of popular blockbusters. Watching the film, however, you'll see that it is much darker than the films it is trying to mimic, appearing more like a Terminator film than Transformers. Its prequel, however, Fall of Man, is a bit closer, instead taking place before the apocalyptic events that were talked about in the setup for the first film. No matter which one you choose to watch, they're pretty bad. Cheap CGI, horrible acting, and overall just badly written. I'd avoid these films at all cost. Love them or hate them, Disney and Pixar's Cars franchise have all been pretty big successes, both in terms of box office draw and popularity with younger audiences. So here comes A Cars Life and its sequels, produced by Sparkplug Entertainment. These films follow Sparky and his band of anthropomorphic car buddies as they try to deal with many wacky situations. Now, Cars 2 and 3 are often criticized for having some pretty stupid plot lines, but these knockoffs take the stupidity to a whole other level. They're borderline infantile. While I recognize that the target audience is supposed to be children, these films are almost so childish that I wouldn't show them to anybody, regardless of age. And the voice acting is beyond annoying. After watching about 10 minutes of one of the films, I already wanted to mute the audio and just switch to subtitles. And I mean, just look at it. You don't even have to listen to it to know that it sucks. Hard pass. You remember in the intro where I said that these films sometimes skirt the line of copyright? Well, this one overstepped its bounds just a little bit. I'll give you one guess what movie Frozen Land is trying to rip off. Just look at that logo. It's probably the most blatant example of theft on this entire list. This actually led to Disney filing a copyright infringement lawsuit against the film's distributors, Phase 4 Films, which Disney obviously won. Now here's the funny thing about this. Frozen Land is actually a retitled Canadian film called The Legend of Saria that has basically nothing in common with Disney's Frozen, other than the overall snowiness. It's actually the story of a group of young Inuit who are searching for food for their tribe. It was simply retitled and marketed in such a way to try to capitalize on Frozen's popularity, which ultimately dealt a massive blow to its US distributor. Oh, come on, are you guys even trying anymore? Pocahontas was a film released in 1994 by Jetlag Productions that was meant to capitalize on the hype surrounding the Disney film of the same name that was set to be released not long after. Now, obviously this sort of thing is bound to happen when you're making a film based off of a well-known fairy tale or legend, but they didn't even try to come up with a different name for it. At least Illumination Filmworks' attempt at ripping off the Disney film had the decency to put young in front of the title. As far as the film, it's exactly what you would expect out of a 45-minute long straight-to-VHS kids movie. The animation isn't completely terrible, and the 3 songs that were written for it are actually not that bad. Still though, it's a pretty blatant ripoff, and everybody involved should be ashamed of themselves. Now, Disney films aren't the only animated properties that get ripped off. Even Warner Brothers isn't immune to the problem, as shown by their film Happy Feet getting its own knockoff in the form of Tappy Toes. Tappy Toes. That's a great title there, guys. Really just A+ work. Don't let the film cover fool you. This is not a 3D animated movie. In fact, the producers of this film instead opted to go with traditional 2D animation, which honestly looks pretty decent, like something you'd see on Cartoon Network or something. But it's a ripoff to its core, following the same basic premise as Happy Feet, featuring a penguin who doesn't quite fit in, who just so happens to have an innate talent for some fancy footwork. Insert feel good, be true to yourself message here. It's not exactly the worst film ever, but it's still not one I would recommend showing to your kids or watching yourself even. That being said, if you were going to watch one of the movies I talked about on this list, Tappy Toes might just be the best of the worst. And with that, we come to the end of our list. Have you seen any of these ripoffs? If so, what did you think about them? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if there are any other knockoffs that you know about that people should check out or completely avoid, why not throw them in there as well? Could be a lot of fun to look at all the money-grubbing schlock. And if you're watching this on Facebook, click the link to be taken to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.